So whether you are a Tyler the Creator fan or not, everyone knew about his newest album Chromacopia that came out like in October. When that album first came out, everyone was raving. I would say when the before the album came out, I actually was on Spotify. I was listening to my music at work and I saw that Noid had come out um just I guess promoting the album, right? So I was like, oh, let me listen to it. It absolutely was like, oh my god, like Noid literally, Tyler the Creator, like experimenting with so many different sounds in this song, and I was just like, oh my god, like this is a really good freaking song. Once the album actually came out, I listened through that whole album, top to bottom. So my first introduction to Tyler the Creator was back in, oh my god, back in like, I'm about to date myself here, but before Wolf came out. So it was when Yonkers first came out. That was the first time that I was actually introduced to him. That song, I mean, now it's like you hear that song, you compare it to his new stuff, it's like does not even compare. But when Yonkers first came out, like that song literally put him on the map. Like that song, honestly, for me personally, and I know there's a lot of people, there's always debates within the Tyler the Creator fan base on this song and all that, and so much shit, right? But that song for me personally, I really love that song. It was like the first time that I actually listened to a rap song where it was actually so like dark and eerie, and then like mixing rap in that, and then on top of that his lyrics are just insane. I was just like, oh my god, this guy's freaking amazing, and I was like, so I was hooked. And then fast forward to when he came out with Wolf, I honestly, it's funny and it's really weird. During that time, I literally like wasn't really impressed with Wolf when it came out, and when I was listening to the songs, I was like, I honestly feel like he's not really taking music seriously. Tamale, like I felt like it was just a dumb, really like not serious song. And then the other songs I was just like not really impressed with. You know, it's funny because looking back and when I re-listen to Wolf now, I actually really like the album. You know, I think it's very classic Tyler the Creator. During that time and that era. But during that time, I just felt like I know he can do like a lot better than what he's like showing right now with this album with Wolf. Like, and then after that, I kind of just fell off with like listening to him. There was actually other songs too, like singles as well, that I really enjoyed from him. From the top of my head, I would say "She" with Frank Ocean was a like love that one. I fucking hate you, such a bop. I love that song too. But when Flower Boy came out, is when I actually started to pay attention and actually listen to Tyler again and his music. And that album is just so beautiful too. I was like, this is exactly what I was talking about. Like, I knew Tyler the Creator had so much potential than what he was making, like before it. It just felt very edgy. Like, honestly such a fucking shithead. Like, he literally, like, was such an edgelord. It was like, that's actually the best like word I can describe him with. During that time, he was such a major edgelord, using a lot of like trying to use shock value. He's literally come out with seven albums, with Chromacopia being his seventh album. Man, 7 albums. That's amazing. 12. Oh my god, 2011, 2011, 21, 11, 12, 34, 18, 19, 20, 21. For 13 years. Man, Tyler the Creator has literally been in the game for 13 years. That is freaking insane. Man. Like, he literally started, like, back in his, like, teenage years. Like, I would say 2011. How old was he back in 2011? He's, like, how old is Tyler? Tyler the Creator is 33 years old. So, let's count down from 2011. 33, so 11, 24. He was literally 20 years old. Not even 21. He was 20 years old when he came out with his first album. That's freaking insane. I literally listened to all of his albums, just to like see the progression and the changes that he's made as an artist. Like, I mean, definitely you see the change. Like, you definitely see it. Like, you definitely saw it in Cherry Bomb. He definitely did beat himself up over that because he felt like it wasn't a commercial success. Although I feel like Cherry Bomb is a really, really great album. I feel like Flower Boy was more of a commercial success. But Cherry Bomb, even when you listen to Cherry Bomb, you can tell the difference between Wolf and Cherry Bomb. Goblin was definitely during his like edgelord type of phase. I mean, obviously he's like 20 years old. Like, when you're that age, you're so young and you're so naive. He was definitely very, very immature during that time. And now getting to Chromacopia, you can definitely tell in this album he has matured a lot with his music production, his lyrics, like a lot. Let's just say like that. But without any further ado, let's start. So the release date of Chromacopia was officially October 28th, 2024. Tyler, the creator, is the one that produced the whole thing. It featured plethora of like artists such as Daniel Caesar, Doechii, Glorilla, Latoya Williams, Lil Wayne, Childish Gambino, Solange, Lola Young, Santi Gold, Schoolboy Q, Sexy Red, Thundercat, and Tizo Touchdown. Playboi Carti was also in this project as well. So let's get into the album cover. I really want to say that I really do appreciate this album cover. I love the way that it gives this like vintage, old school Hollywood type of like vibe. And I feel like a lot of times when you think about that era of Hollywood, it always depicts white celebrities, white movie stars in this glamorous type of like ambiance. You never really see that with like black people of color in general, being portrayed in this glamorous way. I don't know if that's exactly what he was going for, but when I first saw this album cover, I really loved how it was photographed. It's just glamorous in my opinion. His persona, obviously people have made like, they've been comparing his alter ego to this character from this book called The Phantom Tollbook, and the character in this book was called Chroma the Great. Chroma was responsible for directing a color orchestra that controls the sunrise and sunset. As per the novel, without him and his orchestra, the world would be void of any color. Chroma the Great is described as being a patient individual devoted to his color-coded music book, teaching the protagonist lessons on self-discipline, taking chances, and accountability. So people are saying he based his alter ego to this character in this book. But I think in an interview, I have to find it, but I think he said that he had no idea about this character or even this book. His alter ego, Saint Chroma, he has this very militant look. He's wearing military-esque type of like clothing. He has like a full ass flock of people that he's conducting to get into like the shipping containers and all that. If you've seen like the music videos that he was putting out before the album dropped. And in the album, obviously like he's wearing a mask of his own face. So Saint Chroma, his alter ego, is supposed to be very controlling, paranoid person that is very untrusting of people, and he wears a mask to kind of like keep away from the outside world in a sense, trying to like distance himself from reality. And you see that throughout the album. So Saint Chroma, this song starts off so strong. I love the beginning with his mom, and this is throughout the album too, but with the beginning with his mom basically telling him to never dim his light for nobody. And it's just such a powerful song. Like, the music hypes you up for a crazy ride. Like, the marching in the music, it just literally gets you so pumped and ready for like the bombest shit ever. I literally was listening to this specific song repeatedly when I was at work. I don't know, this song just kind of like gave me this energy. It like lit something inside me. It's weird, especially with the lyrics where the chorus is like, can you feel the light inside? Can you feel that fire? And I'm like, yes, girl, I do. I feel this fire right now. Like, I especially really love the buildup of the song. For me, it was kind of low-key made me a little bit emotional, because hearing his mom literally like tell Tyler, like, don't ever dim your light for anyone, and just basically giving him these wise words. And I felt her words kind of like resonating to me as well. And I feel like that's just, any parent or someone that cares about you is always going to tell you, don't ever not be yourself, you know? Ratata, like, that song, the bass is wild in this song. The music, oh my god, like, it was so wild. There's so much energy with this song. When I was listening to the song, like, obviously I'm not really paying attention to the lyrics, but when I actually was like reading the lyrics, when him literally saying, I want that, I was like, bruh, I hollered so badly. I thought that was so funny that he said that. And then on top of that, he said, I'm like, girl, like, what? Like, but yeah, this song literally, the lyrics are so hype. Like, this song literally is like, you literally put this in your car and you just bumping hard. You just bump into this song hard, man. So Noid, like I said before, Noid was actually the first song that I actually listened to before the album came out. And I was like so impressed by the production of this song, experimenting with so many different like sounds and like melodies and like different instruments. It was just so rich with so many tones. And the lyrics are like really deep too. Like, I obviously cannot really relate to a certain extent because I'm not stupid, rich, and famous like him. But the lyrics especially are mostly talking about the paranoia that he feels being a very, very famous, well-known artist. Like, it's gone past to like him being bombarded by like crazy fans and then wanting pictures and autographs. It's like not even just that, it's more the fact that the past few years there's been so many talented black men that have been killed, like just murdered, because they are very rich men and they have money. And it's sad because, especially within the black community, they need that type of representation within their communities, and yet these men are literally like getting killed. Some black men that have been killed has been Pop Smoke, PNB Rock, XXX Tentacion. Even back in 2022, one of the members of Migos, Takeoff, he got shot outside of like a bowling alley. I guess some party was going on. He literally got killed for something so fucking dumb. But yeah, so it's like, I totally understand like Tyler the Creator feeling this like paranoia. Like, he probably feels like he can't like trust anyone around his circle. Like, if we talk about PNB Rock, like literally he got killed at a Waffle House. He literally was murdered because him and his girlfriend went out. They wanted to go out to eat, and she just posted that they were at a specific Waffle House eating, and some fucking person came, shot him, and killed him because he wanted to fucking like take his money or like his chain, or I forgot. But like, for something so dumb. And then Pop Smoke, he was renting a house, I guess, and he literally got killed by 5 guys. They were just basically just trying to rob him. And it's just like, it's sad, these dumb like needless deaths of these really, really influential black men in music just getting killed. Darling I, the harmony of this song is like so dreamlike. Like, when I first heard this song, you know, it was kind of like whatever to me, but then when I kept re-listening to it, it started to grow on me. The tongue clicking that you hear in like the background of the song, it reminded me of Drop It Like It's Hot. I don't know if he actually sampled it from Drop It Like It's Hot. I'm honestly not really sure. But when I read the lyrics, and I was actually really paying attention to the lyrics, I was like, is this song about polyamory? I didn't really pay attention to the lyrics of the song. I thought it was just like a regular ass like love song, you know, between man and woman. And you know, because there's this one like lyric where he's like, I thought he was saying that monogamy was for him and he wants something monogamous, but he was saying that monogamy isn't for him. So I was like, oh whoa, like this is like really weird. It's the first time I ever hear a song specifically about ethical non-monogamy from like an actual mainstream artist. I'm not saying there aren't any polyamorous songs. I've heard polyamorous songs before, but for like an artist like Tyler to actually make a song about that and be like so transparent about his like love life is honestly really huge. Like, as someone that is E&M, I feel like these lyrics did like speak to me. So Hey Jane, what's funny about Hey Jane is that Hey Jane is a virtual clinic that focuses on the reproductive health of women. And you know, people are speculating that it's about that because this song is about an unplanned pregnancy that happened between Tyler and an unknown woman. I love the two perspectives Tyler gives on unplanned pregnancy. I thought at first it was about teen pregnancy. It felt like it was about him literally like accidentally getting a girl pregnant when he was younger. But this was actually something that happened to him when he was already like financially stable. He had money, his career was going. So I thought it was really interesting hearing a song where it's like with him being very already influential and very like, oh, he can obviously take care of a kid and they would be fine. Like, it just goes to show that sometimes having a kid isn't for everyone. It enlightens people on the struggles that women go through while having a kid. He really does raise those issues within this song. Like, I feel like with this song, he's kind of like, oh, I'm really worried and I'm scared, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's more of like, oh, I'll here to support and this and that. But meanwhile, the perspective of Jane, it's much more serious and it's much more like worrisome because it's like, one, she's the one that she obviously, the woman is the one that is gonna have to go through like actually being pregnant and seeing her body change. And it's just a lot more like traumatic for women to have a kid. Obviously, it just depends, but it's definitely a roller coaster ride being pregnant. I Killed You, the lyrics are literally such a masterpiece. This song is about black hair. Basically, throughout the song, like, Tyler is talking about how black people have had to like mutilate their hair in order to fit in with society and their standards, specifically within what is considered like white spaces, and having to traverse and be able to like fit in and not stick out. You know, like, I feel like with black hair, they've always like black hair has always been very like demonized as like dirty and like unruly and unprofessional. Black hair has always just been scrutinized within media in general. I think it's really great. And I know that Tyler has made music like specifically about black hair and his like personal like feelings of his own hair. Like, my favorite lyric from that song was, "You're the room, they're the motherfucking elephant." Like that lyric is so powerful because it's just so true. Now, Judge Judy, this song, honestly, it's giving I have a field account. It's giving like, yeah, I swing that way. So this song, literally, it's like so funny because it's like you get like a little bit of a taste with him being non-monogamous in Darling I, and it kind of like sets you up like, hey, it's almost like he's kind of like coming out a little bit with Darling I. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I'm not really like that. And then this one is literally such like basically now getting into like the kinky stuff about him, like the stuff that he's into, like bondage, rope, couple guys, cream pie. Like, oh my god, like the lyrics, like he is literally like putting it all out there, girl. But I love it. I love it so much. Like, this is coming from someone that literally has a field account. I've seen like people on field talk about what they're into. In all seriousness, I love this song, especially with like the messaging around like fetish, kink, and like open communication. communication, around intimacy. I also, the fact that this song is like celebrating a woman's sexuality, it's just so refreshing. Throughout the song, he's literally like saying, oh, he doesn't judge anyone, and then at the end he's like saying, oh, thank you for not judging me about like what I'm into. If this song literally is not in your poly E&M like playlist, this definitely needs to be included with Darling. Like, those two songs, I would say like they're kind of like both my favorite songs, and maybe I'm biased because I am E&M. Like, literally, this song is him being like, yeah, I am not monogamous, y'all. Now we're getting into Sticky. I know the band geeks in high school are literally having fun with this song. Like, ooh, this song goes off. Like, the horns in this song literally are like, they were itching my brain the whole time. Like, oh my god. Literally, like, with like the horns and all that, like, I could see this song being such a killer ska song. Like, a ska band literally covering this song. Like, I cannot imagine like how cool that would be. Like, literally, I feel like that would be so fucking hype. And I love Glorilla in this song. I mean, in general, I love Glorilla. I love her so much. I love her as a rapper. I just love everything about Glorilla. I love Sexy Red in this song too. Like, it's funny because like the white boy fans of Tyler the Creator, I remember seeing this dumb TikTok of this white boy literally being like, get Sexy Red off the song. And I'm like, bruh, you're just mad because this song's not for you. This is literally a song for fucking black people. Like, you're just mad. You know, like, Sexy Red literally gets this reputation of they just make anyone famous. And it's like, don't be mad because she's doing her thing. Like, Sexy Red is just a fun artist, okay? I love Sexy Red. She's doing her thing, and she's entertaining, and she has a personality, you know? Like, that's just who she is. And then Lil Wayne he had just like a small kind of like verse in the song, but like overall, like, Lil Wayne, he killed that. He literally killed his verse. Like, are we really surprised? Now, Take Your Mask Off. The vulnerability of this song is so real. So we like see three scenarios of like three different people in the song. You have the young man that got into the wrong crowd in order to prove themselves. You have the closeted pastor that's living as a cishet man, family man, but he hides the fact that he's, you know, fucking around with other men. And then you have the mom that feels trapped and unfulfilled with her current life right now as being a mother and being just that. The one thing that all these people have in common is that they all wear a mask in order to not face like their own reality, the reality of their situation. And in the end, you have Tyler talking about the mask that he puts on to do the same exact thing. Like, throughout the song, he's criticizing himself a lot. He talks about his like luxury brand, and he kind of says how he literally like felt like it was like a major failure to him, at least, and how he was like, oh yeah, no one's buying that shit. He is having this conversation with himself that he needs to take this mask off and stop blaming other people for how he feels, and realize that what he's feeling is basically kind of like his fault. He's trying to make him see the faults within himself. And on one end, though, it might sound like he's like putting himself down on his artistry and like his ventures, but it's really more of him giving himself like a reality check. Now, real quick with Tomorrow, the production of this song is like so beautiful. Call me weird, but like the composition of this song reminded me of like a song that would have been written in the 70s, especially with like the guitar and like the harmonizing throughout the song. Like, the tone of the lyrics is like, especially with me being already at this point in my life, being in my 30s, I feel like it is definitely a real fear when you get to this age. Like, the idea of settling down, having kids, the more time that passes, you fear missing out those like milestones, because it's something that is already expected by the time that you get to this age, right? There's a lot of people that already are at that point in like their like mid to late 20s. Meanwhile, there are people like me and Tyler that literally like, we don't have fucking kids. We don't have those types of responsibilities. You don't want to keep waiting and waiting and waiting until it's too late. Obviously, he's a guy. It's like, it's easy for him. Like, you have men in like their 50s having kids still. They can still have kids. Mostly this is a lot more serious when you're a woman, because as a woman, like, if you wait too long and you get more into your 30s, it does become difficult to have a kid. And with that being said, it's like type of like milestone is supposed to be like the next steps that people expect you to do. And in the song, Tyler is torn between this versus his child-free and single life. He's talking about like the pressure that other people in his like circle and people outside of a circle, the pressure that they put on him, and they question like, oh, when is he gonna get there? I've had people in my life where they're like, oh, when are you gonna have kids? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe in my 30s. And they're like, oh yeah, that's a good age. And I fear like at some point when I'm like maybe 35, people are gonna be like, so when do those kids come in? You don't got much time. You know, your clock's running out. Other than like him talking about being a parent, the other thing that he also brings up is like the perception that everyone else has of him, and specifically it's the old Tyler. When I say old Tyler, I mean the Tyler from his early 20s. Tyler, the creator of Funny Moments, it always pans to like the videos where he was just full of angst, he was rebellious, like he didn't give a fuck, he was a smart ass. A lot of people in his fan base cling to that old Tyler, the immature Tyler, the young Tyler. I feel like Tyler is kind of like sick of it in the sense that people still like cling to those moments. And yes, like he was very funny when he was younger, but I feel like he wants people to finally kind of let go and be like, also embrace that, hey, this isn't me anymore. That's when I was in my early 20s. This is me now. Like, Tyler has changed a lot, and you can especially see that with his music, but as a person, he has changed a lot. He has matured a lot from like in his younger days. Whether people want to accept it or not, he is not that Tyler anymore. So now we're getting into Mother. This was actually an exclusive song that you can only get within the limited version of the vinyl and the CD. The song's not even on Spotify. I think what you would have, if you want to listen to this song online, you have to go on YouTube. But this song like shows the immense appreciation that Tyler has for his mother. I mean, when you listen to the whole album, she is literally like narrating and giving him these like wise words to him throughout the song. She's usually in like the beginning telling him something like that's very important. And he even says in an interview that all of the things that his mom is saying are things that she has told him when he was younger, that he never really understood until he started getting older. And you know, with this song, I just love the way that he tells about his mother's story, like delving into like everything that she's had to overcome, and she was still able to be like the best mother to him. In the beginning of the song, she's literally like it's tough love, but she's basically saying, oh, if you go to jail and you do some dumb shit, I'm not bailing you out. Like I don't have money for that. I got time for your bullshit, you know? And it's like, yeah, that makes fucking sense. That's a really easy thing to happen to young people, especially when you live in like LA, and specifically where he like grew up at. Like literally talking about your parents' story, you're reminding yourself that they're not just your parent. They're not just your mom. They're not just your dad, your uncle, your aunt, you know, like your grandma, you know, like they were a person just like you. Like they have dreams, they have aspirations, they probably still have those too. I know a lot of parents get caught up with like making sure that their kids are like doing the right thing and they're taking care of them, you know. It's like having kids is a big commitment. Like I really find it interesting though when in the song he keeps repeating, oh, I turned out fine, right? Like he keeps saying like he turned out fine, in which he did. He didn't end up as a statistic like a lot of like young black men like get involved in gangs, or even if it's not gang related, they get involved in dumb shit, you know, like drugs and partying and that kind of lifestyle, you know. But I also kind of find it ironic because like if you really think about his early life, like in his like early 20s, you can tell that he really wasn't fine. I felt like Tyler always had a chip on his shoulder, you know, like early in his career. He wasn't yes, he was a happy kid, right? But he still had a lot of problems. He did face a lot of demons when he was younger. Now, Thought I Was Dead, the horns in this song, I feel like give this song so much character. The song just touches up on like Hollywood and like how weird it can be and like the shit that goes on, not just in Hollywood but also like the music industry in general. And then just overall like all the people that hate on him. People love to bring up his early music career. Especially they bring up like a lot of like the wild shit that he did that was specifically for shock value. When he was just like a little edgelord, he was just trying to be provocative, right? He used a white supremacist logo and he used the LGBTQ rainbow colors on it. People just bring up a lot of like shit from his past, like in his early music and all that, like all the things that he said or has done. And then the song, he's just kind of brushing it off, like because he doesn't feel like it has any validity in his life now, because like that was something that was a thing when he was younger, but he's now past that and he's grown from that. And throughout the song, the phrase "they thought I was dead," like that phrase is being repeated and it's emphasizing how people are saying he's irrelevant, but yet he's still like a very successful artist. He is still relevant. He is an artist that literally like is pushing boundaries. Now, like him, this song is a very very heavy song. Like it's very heartfelt and beautiful. When the album was first released, and everyone was like listening to it, like this is a song that everyone was like talking about. Like it's funny because like I didn't actually start listening to the album. Like yes, I listened to Noid first, but I didn't actually like decide to listen to the album entirely until this song was being talked about. And then I was like, oh wow, okay, well I'm gonna listen to this album actually right now, you know. And then, you know, now we're here. If you don't know like the lore of this song, early in Tyler's music career, he expressed like this deep hate with his dad, who was an absent person in his life. And he did talk about that on his song Answer, which is in his album Wolf. And basically he's just like, oh whatever, I didn't need you, you didn't want to be in my life, blah blah blah. Like it, you have to listen to the song to know what I'm talking about. But it was a very very like hateful song against his dad, like hey f you know, like for not being there and just leaving us. That is definitely something that happens a lot within the Black community, and not just the Black community, also in the Latino community. But specifically with the Black community, there's always this trope of the absent father and the single mother, right? But the thing that became, which was actually the biggest plot twist within the fan base, and of course Tyler himself, is that his dad actually did want to be there in his life. At the end of the song, it's his mom literally, well first off, in the beginning of the song he's talking about how his mom is always saying like, oh you look just like your dad, and oh like, you know, you have all these features about him, you know, like you are just like him, right? And throughout the song he's like saying he's chasing a ghost, meaning like every time he looks at the mirror, he's basically in a way seeing his dad. Like can you imagine not knowing what your dad looks like, and then you look in the mirror and you realize like, oh like this probably is what he actually looks like. Like it's honestly kind of sad hearing Answer, like if you like listen to Answer and now you listen to Like Him, and then you think back and you're like, wow, you had so much anger for like what, you know? Like it wasn't even like, the anger wasn't even justified, and it's nothing against Tyler, he had no idea. But it's the fact that like he didn't even need to be angry, he didn't need to be upset about this when his dad actually wanted to be there. Like in Answer, you can literally hear the anger in his voice, you can feel the anger in that song, like him thinking that his dad didn't want to be there, and in turn him thinking that his dad didn't want him and probably just hated him. Like that does happen a lot when you have an absent parent, where you think, oh was I not enough, like you know, love me enough to be there. Then you go through years and years and years believing this, And then on top of that, it's like now you have a parent or someone in your family literally being like, you look like this person, oh, you do these mannerisms. And now it's like you are looking at the reflection of someone that you believe didn't give a fuck about you. I do wonder if Tyler would ever consider reconnecting with his dad. I feel like he isn't, because like in Mother, he doesn't really like care about like reconnecting, and he's like, it is what it is, you know? But I don't know, maybe he would want to reconnect. I mean, especially if it's like your dad didn't hate you or not like you, he could actually reconnect with his father if he wanted to. But it does bring up that question if he would actually want to do that. One thing that a lot of people in the comment sections of like TikTok, people were making like videos of it, and people were very, very critical of Tyler's mom, and they were saying like, oh my god, like if that was my mom, like I would just cut contact, I wouldn't talk to her anymore, I wouldn't be able to have a relationship with them. Here's the thing, this is something that's between Tyler and his mom. I feel like it's very easy for people to say that. She's a human being, you know, like what she did, yes, it was wrong. You know, she should have never pushed away Tyler's dad from the picture. It is what it is, and like what happened, you know, and all they can really do is move on. I honestly don't think Tyler is actually like frustrated or pissed off at his mom. She is talking throughout the whole album, dedicates a song to her, and I feel like he kind of is like understanding of like, hey, you know what, like you were young, that's just life. Let's say you have the greatest mom in the world or greatest dad in the world, and then they kind of drop this bomb on you. Yes, like probably Tyler was very, very upset with his mom and been like, why would you like hide this, like why, you know, especially it's like, you know, especially with all the anger and the frustration of him believing that, you know, it did mess him up for a very long time. But it's like at the end of the day, it's like, well, you're still my mom and you're still there. And then on top of that too, it's like the dad, if he really did want to be there and be a dad, he could have literally just tried harder to be in Tyler's life if he wanted to. Like, you're gonna allow someone to literally push you and be like, oh no, you can't see your kid, and then you're gonna be like, okay. It's like, no, like try harder, right? Now Balloon, I actually wasn't really into this song that much. I was like obviously passively listening to the album, but the beat, the dun 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 dun, I don't know why, but that beat was like, it got stuck in my head, so then I ended up like liking the song a little bit more, and it kind of grew on me. But I would say like Doechie's part, I feel like is the best part of this song. I have become such a big Doechii fan ever since she came out with her album Alligator Bites Never Heal. And it's funny, I honestly don't think I would have liked this song as much if Doechii was not on the song. Like if it was someone else, I don't know if I would have given a shit about it. Like this song in general, kind of, it's weird. It's weird, but I feel like it gives this like queer energy. Like there's some verses in the songs, like for example, two of them, which is like bells during December, I slay, and if he is gay, then I am gay, and we are nouns. I really like those lines in her verse. So I feel like because of that, like I'm kind of giving points for this song. I hope you find your way home. Throughout this whole album, I feel like Tyler hypes himself up with all of his successes and wealth to criticize himself on a personal level. I feel like this song is like an in-between both the good and bad about himself, but it like ends on like a good note with his mom emotionally like telling him how proud she is of him. His mom's words have been like a continuous theme in this album, and it just goes to show how much Tyler really values his mom. Overall, in the end, the title of the song I feel like is him telling himself that he hopes he can find what he feels is missing in his life. Like, I'm not saying that he's not happy with his life right now, but I mean, obviously, he is still having troubles in his own life, even at this stage of his life. Like, he's literally at such a good point in his life and in his career in general. But you can tell, like, there's just, I guess, something missing in his life, maybe. Like, there's some things that he's not being fulfilled with, and I feel like this song kind of, like, resonates that feeling. So overall, this album is kind of like, I don't know, it's gonna sound mean me saying this, but it kind of gives like a 30-year-old midlife crisis. Like, it's kind of giving that. I mean, he is at that age already. Tyler never disappoints when it comes to his music. Like, his past few like albums have been just absolutely bangers. They've been done so well. Like, I honestly loved this album 100%. I really don't have a lot of complaints with this album. Like, I love the marching band, I love the horns, I love the theme throughout, all the guest features included, the topics he's touched on, and he experimented with a lot of sounds in this album. Like, not that he's never done that before, but I really like that he's still staying true to like wanting to experiment more with different sounds and music, and you can especially see that in his behind the scenes. He like there's a video on YouTube, nothing like too official, like it's definitely very like a home video kind of thing, but he basically takes you throughout the process a little bit, like showing little tidbits of like how it went, and it's just so like cool how like he really puts a lot into his music. Like, it was so cool seeing him basically showing all the instruments he used, all the people he collaborated with, all the people in the booth. Like, even there's this part in the beginning where it shows him fucking up, like the Saint Chroma, the part where he's singing, "Can you feel that light inside? Can you feel that fire?" And it just goes to show that, yeah, it takes a lot of time making an album, you know, especially an album in this caliber. Like, Chromakopia is honestly one of his greatest works. And even in an interview, he was saying, like, the first 3 weeks literally were just, like, nonstop. People are listening to it, people are talking about it, you know, like, this album was a big fucking hit for a lot of Tyler the Creator fans and just like people in rap in general. Like, this is a really big album. Like, I would feel like the most impressive album. And I feel like it's honestly just, I feel like the reason why people loved this album is because of how vulnerable like he is in this album. I feel like this one's the most him being very real with himself. I mean, what can I say? 10 out of 10. Like, I can't even just say like, oh, you know, like there's some things like, no, this album is going to be a very, very classic album. Like, this album is going to hold up for a very, very long time. But anyways, that is pretty much my album review of Chromacopia. Let me know in the comments section what you thought about this album in general. Like, what were your guys' favorite songs? What were your guys' like least favorite songs? How would you describe this album and how you felt listening to the album? Do you think there were some things that maybe Tyler the Creator could have done better with this album? I mean, me personally, I feel like the album's perfect the way it is. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Like, do you guys think that this album is gonna hold up in like the next 10, 20 years? Let me know in the comment section. And if you guys still want to see more album reviews from me, I have other videos on my channel if you guys want to check that out too. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Man, Tyler literally was such a menace. Like, it's so freaking crazy. So iconic when he was in his early 20s. Like, literally, the video, the waffle video, oh my god, him being like, I'm not done yet. And then he's like, oh my god, could you please let me do what I have to do? It's so funny. Oh my god, it's like 1 in the morning. I'm tired. And I'd still have to take off all my makeup and shit. Like, why do I even do this to myself? Oh, why do we even bother like putting on makeup for a fucking dumb video? I still look cute.